Hey everyone, it is Tanya. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another speed build, and actually welcome to another installment of the Squish. I feel like it's been a while since I've said that, but we are creating a tiny home today in the world of Newcrest, and this one's just supposed to be like a little suburban styled tiny house. It's just a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom. It's not a starter home though. I think it's like 36,000 simoleons, but it is available right now on the gallery. If you'd like to download it, you can find it under my EA ID, which is Gryphi, Gryphi, and you can also find it under the hashtag Gryphi, and that info is in the description as well. So the entire inspiration behind this build was wanting to build something that I could use the shutters from Horse Ranch. I believe I mentioned it in one of my recent builds that I really wanted to build something not in that world, not for Chestnut Ridge, using these shutters, and the idea of a tiny home just sounded really exciting to me, just because I feel like I've been getting away from that a little bit lately, which is fine. I've been having so much fun over the past couple of months doing some bigger builds. I also have been doing some community lots, and it's just been really interesting to switch up the content. But as I've mentioned in like the last video or two, and it's been linked in the description and on Twitter and on Discord as well as on my blog channel, I've been going through some not so fun stuff in my real life right now, and honestly, tiny houses are my favorite thing to build, and they also take a little bit less time. So there'll probably be some more of them in the coming weeks as I tackle the stuff that I am dealing with right now. So if you have any suggestions for tiny houses or apartments in particular, since they're a little bit less, they don't take as long to make, and I really love creating them, do let me know, because I would love to do some more tiny houses and apartments coming up. But the outside of this is starting to come together now. I ended up using windows from the Snowy Escape pack. They're some of my favorites in the game. I didn't think when we got Snowy Escape that I'd be using these windows so often, but I use them all the time, and I think they are so pretty. And the shutters were pretty much the perfect size to fit with these windows. I did scale them down a little bit with Tool, but not too much. And then these flower boxes from the University pack were the exact swatch I needed, and I also think that that worked quite nicely. So I'm using a lot of packs here, but the door is from Growing Together, and the windows are Snowy Escape, and the shutters are Horse Ranch. But I think all of the colors and like patterns work together quite nicely, and that's also where the paneling I'm using on the outside of this build, it's from Horse Ranch, and I just think it's going to be one I use quite a lot. It's always nice to have some more simple paneling for the exterior of builds. And then I was trying to figure out how else I wanted to fill up this lot, and I thought having a like parking spot over here would be nice. And that quickly turned into turning this to like a separate garage space that is open. So it's like technically outside, but there's a roof over it. And I was able to put some storage in there as well as a place for laundry machines. So it's not connected to the main house, and this build still does remain under that 100 tile amount to be considered a small home. So I really liked this addition. I think it looks really cool, and one of my favorite things I did with this I'll be doing here shortly, which is I grabbed one of the like garage mural pieces from City Living that you can like paint on, and I rotated it with Tool to make it look like it was the garage door to this space and it had been opened. So you'll see that here shortly. I think it's such a cool idea, and I've never thought to do that before. For some reason, it just came to me while I was working on this because I liked the idea of this space being open, and I was like, is there a way I could make an open garage door? And so I gave it a go, and I think it looks really cool. So I'm excited to show you that. You probably saw it in the thumbnail. And then I also got some landscaping on this lot. I'm primarily using trees that came with the Live Edit objects for cottage living. So they're not the ones that match this world, but I still thought that they worked quite nicely here. And I also got a lot of these built-in planters around the lot using some half walls. I just think it looks nice and structured, and I felt like this house called for that. It also ends up having a fenced-in side and backyard, and I feel like it filled up this lot pretty well. It's pretty complete. It's a 20 by 15 lot. And sometimes with tiny houses, I struggle to even fill up this size of a lot. So it was nice that this one kind of felt like it just went together pretty quickly. Anyway, I'm just fencing off that yard over there and then trying to get our little pathway to connect properly with these tiles. And the funny thing is I end up switching out the floor tile a little bit later to be a stone from vampires instead. So all of that time I spent like rotating and making sure it was the correct way. It didn't really matter in the end, but that's okay. I do like this tile that I started with. But I think here shortly we will be getting that garage door. But first I changed the color of some of these shutters to be a darker brown for some better contrast. And then I'm just moving them to the other windows as well and rescaling them. I believe I did 0.9, so like 90% of their normal size. And then here I am grabbing that garage door. I do scale it up so it fits a little bit better. And then we rotate it and like raise it up so it looks like it's like slightly opened or slightly on its way to closing at the top, or maybe not fully finished being opened. I don't know. I just thought it looked really cool. I was thinking it was one of those ones that bends in chunks so it can smoothly roll up there. And it was a fun idea. I really hope someday we do get proper garages in the game, but I think that'll only happen if we actually get cars. So let's all hope for cars. Also, if you hear any noise in the background, that is my bunny who's in the room with me right now, having a blast playing with toys. So a little bit loud. I'm trying to get him to calm down, but unfortunately you can't always get your pets to cooperate when it comes to that. But anyway, this is that garage space I had mentioned. I just got a couple of like cabinets and decorative pieces to put on the walls. And then I also have the laundry machines out here and the actual hamper you need to use the laundry or collect your dirty clothes. That little basket in the corner that has all the plastic boxes and stuff that actually has like holiday decorations in it. And you can use that to decorate your house, hang up lights, and like so many more things. I really like that we can decorate our houses like that in the game. That was one of my favorite things they added with Seasons. I believe we had something very similar in The Sims 3. I'm pretty sure you clicked on the front door though, not like a decoration box. But that's what I put out there. I just thought it was a nice place to have some storage items, and then we're continuing to work on the landscaping before we head on inside to the house to figure out the floor plan, which actually was a little bit difficult because it's way smaller than I thought it was, and I wanted to make sure to have space for a double bed in here. So it's a little bit of a weird floor plan. It's kind of open concept. There's not a separate door into the bedroom, but you could definitely add one. There's space. I just left like an empty wall tile, so you could add a wall there and put a door instead. I just opted not to because I liked how it looked a little bit more open without that. But when you walk in, you're directly in the kitchen space, and then we have a 3x1 bathroom in the middle of the house. And then in the back, we're going to have the bedroom in the back corner and the living room in the front. And these are not necessarily the furniture pieces I'm going to be using. I do use that kitchen set, but I was just placing down things to get an idea of the area. So, throwing down a random TV and a random couch to be like, okay, this is the layout we're going to go for. But then we're back outside, switching out the tile to be this beautiful stone from Vampires. It's weird because when Vampires first came out, I did not like this stone, and I almost never used it. And now I just think it's absolutely stunning, and I'm always excited when I get the chance to use it. And then I'm just outlining it with a low-lying fence to make it feel a little bit more finished and prominent in the space, and adding our little trash can that's right outside the door, outside of the garage. So moving inside now, we have our floor plan. I'm just getting some flooring and some wallpaper, and then we should start decorating. I think the kitchen actually comes out really cute, and I was happy with the placement of the window because I could have a sink directly below the middle, which always looks so satisfying. But I did end up having to put the stove directly next to the sink, which I don't like doing, but I thought it worked okay here because I didn't want to put a fridge over there and block the window. So I ended up putting the fridge on the other side, and I was going to have an island counter at first over here, but I decided to swap it out for a 2-seater table instead, since we do have the other island to prep at. I thought that this would be fine, and then I just scaled down this little like cabinet piece from here to put up above that table for some extra storage. And then getting a cork board over here. I always like adding those to put postcards on. We got a bowl of fruit as well. And I'm going to be placing a trash can over on the other side of the fridge, and just trying to finish up this kitchen space and make it look complete with decorations and like utensils and stuff. I do end up getting our aprons over here, as well as the cutting boards leaning over on the stove. And I was very excited about the slots on the sink today. I know that sounds kind of silly, but a couple of months ago, they updated the sinks in game to have slots on them, as well as some of the toilets and tubs and stuff as well. And since I had this directly next to the stove, it was perfect to slot the utensils to, so we could have those right by the stovetop. And then I got some more utensils on the wall, and I also got a little rug in front of the sink. I like to do that. Let me know if you do that in real life as well. And that's just reminding me, since I've decided for myself, and a lot of us have on the internet, that it is officially Halloween now. I really want to get out my ghost rug to put in my kitchen. If you know what I'm talking about, it was like viral last year, I think, or the year before at TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Home Goods, all of those. There's this like runner ghost rug. And I have it, and it goes in my kitchen. And I really want to take that out and put it in my kitchen now because I've decided it's Halloween now. Let me know if you're somebody who also believes it's Halloween right now, because I am so ready for the autumn. I'm very over the summer. I do not like warm weather. I've never liked the summer, and I just love Halloween. We shop for the decor for like all year round around our house. So I've been loving going to Home Goods lately. It's been a lot of fun. Anyway, we are working on the living room and bedroom now. I did paint with this wallpaper from Base Game that we got more swatches to a couple of months ago, or a month or so ago. And I think it looks really pretty in here. I love this blue swatch with the paneling on the bottom. And then I'm grabbing this couch from the Growing Together pack. I think it's also really pretty. I picked it specifically because of the blue accents and the yellow as well. Since we do have yellow flowers outside, I felt like it was kind of tying that in, and I think it really worked nicely. And then I didn't even think about it, but this plant over here is also like blue and yellow. So that worked really, really nice. And then I was trying to figure out what painting to put up above here because I wanted to put something. Did I end up keeping this one in the end? I think I did. I really like the new paintings that came with the Book Nook kit. I think that they are so, so nice. And I'm always happy to get some more paintings in the game because it's really hard to have spaces feel different when you're using the same artwork over and over. And I feel like we all have favorites. I definitely have some favorite pieces that I use way too often. So whenever we get new ones, it's nice to kind of cycle those out or add them to the cycle so I'm not using these same ones every single time. But anyway, this is going to be the bedroom space. We just have a little dresser. Actually, I thought about putting a dresser, but I decided to go with wardrobes instead because they match the bed I picked out. These are both from Growing Together. And I used another painting in here from the Book Nook kit, and it just looks really cozy. You're going to have everything you need in this house. It's just very small, but I feel like it's all pretty well planned out because I've said this before that I sometimes have a lot of issues like planning out yards where it feels like things are just kind of all over the place and not everything has its space. But I feel like with how structured I made the outside of this house, it feels very precise, if that makes sense. So I'm really proud of this one. I really hope you enjoy it as well. All we have left now is the bathroom and then the back porch or the backyard area where I just have a couple of places for your Sims to sit and dine. And I believe I add a barbecue out there as well and some planters if you would like to do some gardening. It's a pretty generic house in like I didn't think of a specific Sim or career or personality or anything. I just wanted to create a cute little suburban tiny house. So I hope that's okay and you liked it nonetheless. But if you'd like some more specific builds, definitely let me know what you'd like to see. I'm always reading your suggestions. But yeah, this is pretty much it for the bathroom. We're just getting another painting out here in the hall, or in, I guess it's technically in the living room. And then we're heading to the backyard. Here's that barbecue I mentioned. And then we're going to get a 4-seater table over in this corner and some planters up against the fence. But that is pretty much it for this build. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. You can also subscribe to the channel if you would like to see more. And if you click that bell, it'll turn on notifications so you'll be notified of every single time I upload a new video. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you enjoy those screenshots, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, everyone.